Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, it's election day here in Washington, the special election. There's some ballots in Benton County. There's some ballots in Yakima County, not much in Kittitas or Franklin counties. Walla Walla also has a couple of things on their docket as well. We'll get to that later in the show as well. But let's jump right over to weather here because fantastic start to the day. Maybe a little bit chillier this morning. I couldn't help but feel a couple of goosebumps as they stepped out the door this morning.
Yeah, it is a cool morning across much of the forecast area, but this afternoon is going to be quite pleasant as we do see high temperatures warming well into the 60s. Taking a look outside at the Tri-Cities this morning, there are a few clouds overhead right now, but we are going to be looking at sunny skies as we go into the afternoon. Temperatures today are going to be getting well into the 60s and then seeing even warmer weather as we do head into Wednesday and Thursday. By Thursday, we are going to see highs all the way into the upper 70s. Some divine weather coming for that day. But in the Tri-Cities this morning, like Dave mentioned, it is a cool morning, 35 degrees right now with a few of those clouds overhead. But in general, it is going to be a mostly sunny day. Here's a look at your weather headlines today and going forward. Sunny skies and pleasant weather conditions on this Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be on a warming trend through Thursday, so tomorrow even warmer than today, and then Thursday even warmer than tomorrow. By the time we get to Friday, that is when we are going to see more clouds and maybe even the potential for a few isolated spotty showers. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines in more depth coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima County. New information about the ongoing investigation into the death of a child in Selah. On Friday, Selah police conducted a welfare check on a child on Spires Road. They spoke to one of the child's parents who told them that the child was living elsewhere. During the investigation, human remains were found in the Kennewick Mill Road area. Yakima County Chief Deputy Coroner Marshall Slight said the remains are those of a boy and that they'll be transferred to the King County Medical Examiner's office where an autopsy is scheduled for later today. So far, Selah police haven't released any other information about the boy's identity or if any arrests have been made. They've just said the investigation is ongoing and that there's no danger to the public. A 20-year-old Yakima tribal member is headed to federal prison for sexually abusing a 16-year-old who was intoxicated and incapacitated. Darius Morningstar Speedus was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison for charges of sexual abuse on reservation land. According to court documents, in early November of 2022, several teenagers, including the victim and Speedus, were consuming alcohol on Yakima tribal land with at least some of the alcohol provided by Speedus. Federal prosecutors say while the victim had no recollection of the assault, Speedus recorded it and sent the video to the victim. They say the video was later deleted before law enforcement officers could see it. Speedus will also be under 10 years of supervised release after his prison sentence and be required to register as a sex offender. A man was arrested for multiple alleged sexual offenses against a minor with autism. The man is accused of picking up the victim on the street after she ran away from home, school, and her parents. After driving her to multiple places, he allegedly attempted to force himself upon her repeatedly. The victim called the police to report his actions, and he was picked up near a casino. After questioning, he admitted to the assault. He was booked into jail for rape of a child, child molestation, luring, and felony harassment with sexual motivation. His bail is set at $500,000. The Ellensburg Police Department is investigating a case of mail fraud after learning a check had been fraudulently cashed. On April 14th, police received a report that someone had illegally cashed a check and determined that mail had been stolen from the Ellensburg post office on March 26th. Postal employees confirmed that the stolen mail was intended for delivery to both the Kittitas County Courthouse and the Ellensburg City Hall. The next day, 2 suspects were apprehended by the Kent Police Department, and evidence recovered suggests the suspects may be involved. The department is working closely with the U.S. Postal Service Inspection Service, Kent PD, and the Department of Corrections to determine the full scope of the incident and its community impact. The PD is asking anyone who sent correspondence to the courthouse or City Hall around March 26th to verify they received it. National Infant Immunization Week is here, and leaders from the Benton Franklin Health District want to encourage parents to protect their children through vaccines, specifically children 2 years and younger. The most common immunizations typically given during that time are for pertussis or whooping cough, measles, mumps, and rubella, polio, and RSV. Any annual vaccines such as the flu shot can also be given.
You don't have immunity to a lot of things at that point. And so we're able to provide that through the scientific progress that we've made with vaccines. It can be a lot. I'm a parent. I want to acknowledge that for a lot of parents, it's hard. You're going to the doctor a lot. Again, speaking from personal experience, you feel better that your child is protected.
Krager says if parents have any questions or concerns, consulting with your pediatrician is a great way to start. And sticking with healthcare news, healthcare access for folks in our region is expanding. Yesterday morning was a groundbreaking ceremony for Cadillac's new West Richland primary care facility on the corner of Keene and Bombing Range Road. Leaders tell us the $20 million complex will provide healthcare services to up to 20,000 patients and address a growing issue of timely medical help.
In most of our primary care locations, it can be many months in order for a new patient coming to our community to actually get an appointment with one of our providers. This new building is going to allow us to add 10 new primary care physicians to our medical group and really improve access to primary care in one of our goals.
Now, this is the first primary care facility addition to our region since 2016. The project is expected to be completed by this time next year. And efforts to tackle de-icing waste at the Tri-Cities Airport using worms continue to progress. Leaders with the airport tell us they're transitioning out of a pilot program started last year to prove worms can treat glycol, a compound used in de-icer, and are looking to get it permitted by the city of Pasco. They say this eco-friendly option would benefit the city and the airport long term.
We were looking for the best way to treat this glycol. We could have trucked it to Seattle. We could have recycled it. We kind of were looking at all these options, and this one was the most realistic, appears to be the most environmentally friendly.
Now, the permitting process for the program is currently in the public comment phase, with an outcome expected in the next 2 to 3 months. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, I think it's pretty cool that we're finding uses for worms in the most unusual places, if you will.
Yeah.
As long as I don't find one in my apple, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, we don't want any worms in our apple, but you might want to eat an apple outside today, as we are going to see sunshine and light winds across the forecast area. High temperatures are going to be topping out in the 60s region-wide. Low 60s for the Blue Mountain foothills as well as the Kittitas Valley. Mid to upper 60s today for the Yakima Valley and through the Columbia Basin. In general, a very nice day of weather today, but we're going to see even better weather as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. We'll talk about who all will see highs in the 70s on those mentioned days coming up.